everybody comfortable? Good. Are there enough echoes in here for you? Just as I suspected.
First, thanks to let us be here. And the thing is, we're a bit surprised to find you on the road again, because you were talking about not touring anymore.
Yeah, I changed my mind.
Yeah, you just finished a record. It's going to go out in all Europe in no time. Can you talk about it a little bit?
There are several records that are coming out. There is an album that was done in January in Paris with Pierre Boulez, and it's called The Perfect Stranger, and that's coming out on EMI Angel. Then also there is a double LP rock and roll album called Them or Us.
You're supposed to be a man of many experiences. So on this Them or Us album, what's the way you're going to them?
Oh, it's a variety album. It has a lot of different kinds of songs on it. There are instrumental pieces and funny songs and a variety. It's not a story album.
Mais c'est pas un concept album, c'est un mélange de tout. Il y a de l'humour et des instrumentaux aussi.
Mm-hmm. But if he's interested in a story album, there's the other album we are releasing is called Thingfish. Thingfish, and it's a 3-record box. It's the soundtrack, complete soundtrack with the dialogue and the music from a Broadway musical that I wrote. Okay, now there's one more.
That's 6 records. There's one more.
Yes.
You're not gone.
It's called Francesco, and it's the music of a composer from Italy named Francesco Zappa, who lived in the late 1700s. And these pieces were originally written as string trios. I found out about this man in a book, and I did research and got the original music and had it performed on a computer. And the music is over 200 years old, and now he has a digital recording.
When you see all that amount of work and amount of releases about the same time, do you feel that records is a better media to communicate your music to people than concerts?
No, it's two different mediums, completely different.
Deux choses complètement.
Because the way people listen to records is different than the way they listen to a concert. When you go to a concert, you pay more attention to what's going on. And when you listen to a record, you usually put it on in the background and do something else. So it's a different medium.
Yeah, when you say my music, is there something very precise you've got in mind when you say my music? I mean,
Yes.
Is there a concept, or is it just the music you write?
Well, it's not just a matter of ownership, but there is a concept to it, and it is done in a way that is different than the way other people put their music together. That doesn't mean it's any better or any worse, but it is different than ordinary process.
Do you feel that everything you've done is rock and roll?
No, it's only rock and roll in that it was consumed by a rock and roll audience. Even if I wrote music for symphony orchestra, it was people from the rock and roll audience who bought it, not the people who would normally go to see an orchestra.
Yeah, is the image very important to you? I mean, when you write your music, do you think about the visual aspects of it?
Not usually when I'm writing it, no. But the problem with people who talk about music is they know so little of the real mechanics of making music that most of the time when people discuss music, they discuss pictures, they discuss images. They say, I hear a piece of music and it makes me think of a forest, or it makes me think of a swamp, or it makes me think of the sky. But they don't really discuss music in the way in which the music was made. It's very subjective. I don't know whether you can get that across. But
yeah. About that tour, I mean, can you tell us more about what we're going to see on the stage tomorrow night in Paris?
Well, the group that we have now is 7 pieces, 2 keyboards, 3 guitars, bass and drums. 4 members sing, and 1 plays saxophone and French horn. The show is different every night, so that the show that we play in Paris will be completely different than the show we would do in Lille or Lyon or Nantes or Toulouse. They're all going to be completely different shows.
I mean, different set lists?
Yes. because the band knows 65 songs, which is about 3 completely different shows that they play. And we change it every night so we don't get bored.
Ray White. Chad Wackerman. Scott Tunis. Alan Zavad. Bobby Martin. Ike Willis.
Well, I started writing music for orchestra and chamber groups when I was 14. And the first music that I had heard at that time was Varese and Stravinsky. And then later I heard Webern. And since that time I've heard just about everything else that's available in contemporary music, but most of it I don't like. There are other composers that are working today that I have respect for. I respect Boulez's music. I like Penderecki's music. I like Takamitsu. And the early 20th century composers, I like most of that work.
Yeah, and among rock and roll, I mean, what's your...
I don't listen to rock and roll. If I get in the car and somebody has a radio on, I tell them to turn it off.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've got to be free. Free as the wind. Free as the way. I got to be. Maybe I'm lost. Maybe I sin. I got to be totally free. I'll bear no nervous. I keep it the same. Thinking my boring, so we're running away. We will be free. And people will see that when we are free, that's the way we should be. I got to be free, free as the wind, free as the wave. I got to be. Maybe I'm lost, maybe I sin. I got to be totally free. I'll never so nervous, I see as they say. Think of the boring, so we're running away. And we will be free, and people will see that when we are free, that's the way we should be. We must be free. We must be free as the wind. We were free when we were born. We were born free, but now we are not free anymore. If we wanna be free, if we're gonna be free, if we wanna be free, if we're gonna be free. Did you know that free is when you don't have to pay for nothing but you nothing? We want to be free. Free as the wind. Free is when you don't have to pay for nothing but you nothing. We want to be free. Free as the wind. Free is when you don't have to pay for nothing but you nothing. We want to be free. Free as the wind. Free is when you don't have to pay for nothing but you nothing. We wanna be free. We're gonna be free. We got to be free. We got to be free. We got to be free. Got to be free. Got to be free. We got to be free. Got to be free. Got to be free. We got to be free. Got to be free. We got to be free. Got to be free. Got to be free.
And how did you cope with, say, rock and roll touring or?
Well, I've managed to do it for 20 years. After a while, you learn how to do it, and you get good at it.
If you want to define your music in a few words, say if you want to explain a child, what would you say?
Optional entertainment.
The way you look, I mean, how you dressed and everything, is that something conscious, or it's just like that and it just happens to be what you like to?
Well, the clothes I have on today were chosen because this is what I had in my suitcase that was clean. It's one of the problems of being on the road. You can't always have a day off when the laundry is open.
Rumors are that on the double album there's a song called In France.
That's right.
Which is not extremely kind to the French.
That's not correct. Just tell them that much. That is not correct, that it is unkind to the French.
C'est pas méchant.
If there was one thing that the French are noted for, it's logic. Is this not correct? The French have a close involvement with things which are real and realistic. Is this not correct?
But can you tell us more about that song?
I'm going to tell you all about the song, but I want to do it in a logical, very realistic way so that people understand why there is a song called In France and why the things that are said in the song are included in there. We have played in France many times, and here's what we have found coming to the country. For some reason, the French government or the people in the cities care so little about the youth in the country that the places where rock and roll music is performed in France are the worst in the world. And I know the French audience likes music of all different kinds, but if they want to see rock and roll, they have to go to a tent and stand in the cold, or they used to go to the slaughterhouse in Paris and stand in the cold, or other places where the acoustics are terrible. So our song starts off with a line, "We're playing in a tent." It's paying the rent. If you pooch a civilian, it's a major event. Then it goes on to talk about diseases. The second verse says, they have diseases like you've never seen. They got a mystery blowjob that'll turn your Peter green. Now, the reason this verse is in the song is because it happened to one of the members of the band. And the thing that makes it so unusual is this man never believed that he could get that disease from sticking it in a girl's mouth. But that's only because he was an ignorant person. We all know that you can get that disease from sticking it in a girl's mouth, because we're all adults here, right? He didn't know, you see. And it's hard to hold the camera still, isn't it? Okay, but see, he didn't know, and because of this, he waited 3 days before he told the road manager that he needed to see a doctor, because he couldn't believe it. And so, when things like that happen, it's folklore from the band and should be retained in a song. If it had happened in Germany, it would have been in a song about Germany. They have some coffee, eating right through the cup, and when you go caca, they make you stand up.
Some strings broke on the piano. They had to put new strings on.
Now, the reason we have pointed this out is very few places in the world have we seen toilets where two little footprints in the ground with a hole there where they say, okay, stand there and do it. Now, when we play concerts in France, that's the facilities they give us backstage. Okay?
They're trying to tune them now. So they'll be done in a second and the show will start. Okay?
Unfortunately, because it was difficult to rhyme, I couldn't put in the best part about the French toilets where you stand up. The best part is when you pull the chain and the stuff comes up out of the hole and gets on your shoes. Okay. Then the next verse is, if you're not careful, it'll stick to your cheeks. You'll smell like a native for a couple of weeks.
Very well, then.
Then it says, we cannot wait till we come back. It gets so exciting when the poodles react. And then the last line of the song is, never try to get your Peter sucked in France. And there it is.
What do you think of promo clips?
I think that they can be effective. I think that they are not usually a good deal for the artist because they're so expensive and the artist has to pay for them. And other people make the profit from that. And they could be done in an artistic way, but they generally are not. And in the United States, they've turned into a disease.
The name of this song is Chunga's Revenge. 1, 2, 3, 4.